Welcome to the fans. Welcome to the Voice of College Football Ohio State channel. How are you all doing? I am your host, Cleveland Mike. Man, it is good to be back. Haven't had a show in a minute, man. Are we having volume issues? Is anybody able to hear me? Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me. Seems like we having volume issues. I hope that is not the case. Volume issues. I hope that is not the case. All right. It seems like we're good. Everything good. Audio straight. Everybody let me know. I appreciate y'all. Y'all always looking out for your boy. Man, how's everybody doing? Let's get to the show. Ohio State has Rutgers. We've heard Ryan Day's press conference, and I want to know, you guys let me know in the chat, how concerned are you about the injuries going on this team? I know 1 year that we did have a real big injury bug was 2023. Ryan Day, all you heard was Ryan Day was pushing this team. Guys were getting hurt left and right, especially when you were talking about the running back position, right? So we're going to get all into that, man. Ohio State has a big noon kickoff against Rutgers, man. We're going to have 2 noon kickoffs back to back with this Rutgers game, and obviously the team up north. But I'm excited about this Rutgers game. Rutgers is coming off of a bye week, which I believe is going to present, a little challenge. There's some things that Rutgers gets to work on that, that in more time, just 2 weeks of being able to prepare for Ohio State. Also, they're getting it healthy. I listened to Greg Schiano's interview, and he also spoke about them being able to get at least one of their guys back healthy as well. That's huge. Now, the difference about this Rutgers team going into this game is when you think about Greg Schiano and you think about Rutgers, the one thing that you always tend to think about is straight up. You always end up thinking about, hey, Rutgers always has good defense, right? Good defense. Well, when I've watched Rutgers this year, it seems like Rutgers has more of an offense than they actually have a defense this year. So you guys let me know what you guys think about this Ohio State versus Rutgers game. I think that it's going to be BTA, business as usual. That's not what that is abbreviated for, but for those who know, you know. Just let me know in the chat how you are feeling about that game. But going up against Rutgers, especially like I told you all, their defense isn't really that good. Especially, this is how you know a defense isn't good. When your leading tackler is one of your DBs, he's their leading tackler with 59 solo tackles. And then also your leading sack leader, 2.5 from your defensive lineman. That is not good on the defensive side of the ball. Ours is 7 with Caden Curry. So, that just lets you know right there. But I'll say this. They are able to run the ball. They have 1,000-yard back this year as well. You got 200 carries, 11 touchdowns, and their quarterback has already thrown for over 2,700 yards as well. Now, he does have 7 interceptions on the season, but I'm not going to say that, I got that much faith in their receiving game, but their leading receiver right now, K Duff, he could possibly end up finishing the season with 1,000 yards. So they at least have one receiver. That's something to watch out for. But I'm expecting this is something that you want. You want your team to be tested in a way. And that's the one thing that I want to continue to see. I told you guys in our Ohio State post game, right? I told you guys I'm having some issues or a little bit of worries about what is going on with our secondary in the coverage. Do they just need more reps because they haven't been tested by many teams? And I think that this might be one of those games where they will be tested. Also, just the way Greg Schiano is you're going to have to be disciplined. You're going to see he's going to throw everything out there that he possibly can. You're going to see all the eye candy. You're going to see, guys motioning. Is that secondary going to be disciplined, or is someone going to be trying to make a play and then a guy be wide open? We're going to see all the trick plays coming from Rutgers. You best believe that. And Ryan Day also spoke about it in his interview. He said that Greg Schiano and Rutgers, they're going to attack you in all three phases, but it's going to start off with the special teams. And that's one thing that we know we have to be worried. I talked about this with Minnesota because I seen Minnesota do it, just come out of nowhere with an onside kick. Rutgers will do the exact same thing. If you think that they're not trying to get an edge or an advantage to win this game, you are crazy. But shout out to you all again. Make sure that you're hitting that like button. If you're watching us on X, make sure that you are hitting that retweet button. We'll definitely give you all a shout out. Shout out to our loyal listeners. We appreciate you. We love you. So shout out to all of you. All right. Let's see. What else we got? All right. So what everybody is wondering is JJ and Cardinal Tate injury, right? Now, they said about the Cardinal Tate, we got to go back a week where he dressed in the Purdue game. Cardinal Tate dressed, but then he didn't end up playing, saying that, hey, he was feeling some tightness or whatever. And then he did not dress in this following game against UCLA. He just was, chilling, hanging out on the sideline. So, I don't know. How are you guys feeling about that? I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 on it, but if it's a hamstring issue, I don't want these guys to be rushed back. Let these guys take a break. You don't need them against Rutgers. I do have a question that I want to ask you guys, but I'll probably go ahead and I will save that for maybe the post game after Rutgers. I'll save that. Shout out to everybody that's on X hitting that repost button. We definitely appreciate you doing that. Just doing this helps us grow, man. You guys help us grow. You hit that like button, helps us grow in the algorithm. Hitting that retweet button helps us grow in the algorithm. So we appreciate it, man. This channel only grows because of you. So you can kind of take pride in that. Say, hey, I helped that channel grow. I remember when they had just started out, man. When Mike and Garrison was started off their year, that beautiful national championship year, on the Voice of College Football, So, but my thing, that's the Cardinal Tate injury. The JJ injury is weird because of the way he was walking. And then again, it takes you back to, and I know everybody right now is having PTSD about the whole JSN, Ryan Day saying, hey, we're good. Next thing you know, the dude was done for the season. You never know. So I don't think that that's the case with JJ. I just think that our training staff, there's no reason to rush these guys back. I don't believe that there's any reason to rush these guys back. But also, this is why I say you go ahead and rotate. One thing that I felt the issue in the last game was Julian Sand didn't have the chemistry, the timing with the wide receivers coming out there. And that's something that he's going to need to work on. And that's why I believe when you're rotating multiple wide receivers, not only are you just teaching, your wide receiver about the different coverages and everything that's just different in football, but you're also getting him ready to be able to play with multiple wide receivers if a guy goes down. Man, I already know that this guy does this well. I already know this guy does this well. He likes the ball here. You already know these things and you've already repped them in the game, and it gets you more confidence. So, we've heard about, Julian working in the offseason with Cardinell and JJ and stuff, but I want to know, are you working with Mylan? Are you working with QP? You working with Bryson? I know Bryson gonna get himself in there. And Bryson look good, man. I definitely want to see more of Bryson. But again, this is why I say I believe if we rotate, you can keep guys fresh, keep their hamstrings fresh, and just anytime something happens, it is. And shout out to Jam. Change the turf. 1000% agree. I believe that should be the next assignment. No way that we should be going into next year with the same turf. As soon as the Rutgers game in, it needs to be gone. It has to be. Screw whatever contract it is. We got to start risking the players, man. Now you're talking about sharing revenue. You have to act like you're an NFL company now, Ohio State. You have to invest in your players. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. They want to play on grass. That's what they voted for. Well, hey, I understand we have flood issues. Well, we got to make a better drainage system. It is what it is, man. Like, don't tell me that Ohio State can't pay and can't make the money to have a better drainage system so that we don't have any flood issues or whatever in the shoe. I'm not trying to hear any of that noise, bruh, at all. People need to go ahead and make that stuff happen, or we could just do a better turf. Stop being cheap. I know Russ Bjork just got here, and the old AD did that, but I agree with you, Jam. I agree with you. My thing is if he was questionable and ended up hurting himself, he shouldn't have played. I agree. I agree. I feel like, but here's the thing. Players got the ultimate say. And if that's the thing, man. You gonna tell a grown, yeah, we call them kids, but they still grown and they still want to play. You don't want them to play. You can tell them not to play, but here he looked fine. Ryan Day said that he looks in good spirits. I saw Carnell Tate. He didn't look like he was in down spirits, bad spirits. These guys are still around the team, from what I'm hearing. So that was the thing. The thing about JSN, you start hearing like he wasn't around the team anymore, things like that. I'm not hearing any of that about Carnell or JJ. So if we were hearing that, that's where you start hitting the panic button. But I ain't hearing any of that. I think that we should just take it easy. And if they're able to play against the team up north, then they're able to play against the team up north. But what I would say is save them for the playoffs. We're going to the playoffs regardless. That's what matters. I would hate to get to the playoffs and had risked these guys for that team up north game or whatever, and then we go to the playoffs and don't have them. Screw that. I want both of them guys in the playoffs. Give me my natty. What you talking about? Man? Exactly. We need them to win the natty. Wide receiver, yes. But this is why my thing about this is you could tell what I felt was the timing was off with some of the guys, right? If you've been repping with Lincoln the whole time, which you saw when Lincoln got out there, it looked like he had more chemistry with those wide receivers that was out there, which is A lot. It's understandable. Flat out understandable. Uh I just want to see Julie and Sam be able to rep with those guys. And I think that once that chemistry gets going, we'll be fine. Now, Marlon Graham, he has to work on those contested catches. That's something that he's just going to have to continue to work on. I don't know. Brian Hartline, he's known for developing. So I'm hoping that he can learn as much as he can before Hardline, might take a head coaching job somewhere. We'll see about that. Speaking of head coaching jobs, I definitely want to give a shout out to James Franklin becoming the head coach of Virginia Tech. And I put a tweet out not too long ago under a comment because people were talking about all of these recruits leaving, and someone was saying you picked the school, not the coach. And it's like, here's my thing on this for Penn State fans. Cool. You happy with James Franklin? Cool. You happy that he's gone? Cool. But those recruits flat out did not pick Penn State because of the brand. They did not. They picked that because of James Franklin. Matter of fact, let's really talk about the Penn State brand right now in the CFP era is James Franklin. Flat out. It is. You don't want to bring up anything before James Franklin. You might talk a little bit about, we had Bill O'Brien, but anything before that, you ain't really trying to bring up any of that. This man helped you out of sanctions. He did all of this. James Franklin was the brand. And now he's gone to Virginia Tech, and now you see recruits are starting, hey, I'm about to go take this visit. And that's what they have been waiting on. So shout out to James Franklin. I hope he has success in the ACC at Virginia Tech. I know that he was recruiting our guy Gabe. So shout out Gabe. Maybe he'll stay at Virginia Tech, and James Franklin finally gets one of the players that he wanted. So I do have a question for the chat that I wanted to ask you all, man. I want to know, which Buckeye senior will you miss the most? Because, it's senior day. They're going to have senior tackle. This will be their last game inside the shoe. What senior will you miss the most? And Ryan Day was also asked about, is there, what do you do for the juniors? How do you get them prepared? If this is going to be their last season. And Ryan Day just said, they basically help these guys out throughout the season. If they know that the guys are going to go on to the NFL, they help them out so that way they're not surprised by anything at the end of the season when it comes to, the NFL or having to move out, those types of things. So shout out to Ryan Day and the staff just getting these guys already ready. But I do need to know, man. I do need to know who will be your favorite senior that you feel like you'll miss. And that's mine right there. Kenyatta Jackson. I feel you on that. I feel you. But in your name right there, the Block O show. The Block O. Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles will probably have been. Well, yeah, he will be a senior now. The 2022 season, he was a freshman. 23 season, he played. He was a sophomore. 24 season, he was a junior. Yeah. Sonny Styles, man. I mean, just to watch his growth from this man just coming in. He never was a head case. You worry about the kids who are reclassifying, right? Coming into college, you have access to a lot more things than you would while you're at home. And the whole time he was professional. His interviews, professional. His social media, professional. Everything, you didn't hear no issues. You didn't hear no gripe. None of that. He just continued to, just be a stand-up guy. So shout out to Sonny Styles and what he has done for the Buckeye University. And also for what he has done for this university. Whoa, we gotta put somebody in timeout. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Yeah, they gone. Somebody was wilding in the chat. All right. Anyways, but Sonny Styles, what he does with the Huckleberry House for homeless teens and everybody, man, I just appreciate him, man. He's going to be missed. You're talking about a kid came in, was playing safety, then moved down to linebacker, and you see just he's a true linebacker. That was one thing that we talked about in the preseason, was being able to see him trigger, hitting those instincts, moving quicker, putting his hands and moving. Old lineman now. He has all of those tools. So shout out to Sonny Styles and just being able to see him grow. And he's just going to keep growing. He's only played 2 years of linebacker, and this man is going to continue to grow and get better at the position. And it's crazy to say, but he'll probably end up being a better pro than he was in college. And it's only because he only had 2 years at the linebacker position. So shout out to Sonny Styles. I think that he will be missed. I see somebody put Arvell Reese. I guess that will be the junior that will be missed. I guess I'll ask you guys, who's the junior that will be missed the most? I will definitely say Arvell Reese. I have been on record saying I think it is criminal that we only get 1 year of Arvell Reese. I think that we were completely done wrong for that. I think that the person that hid Arvell Reese had no packages for him and they play calling or anything. I think it should be a crime. Yeah, I think that you should be in jail for not allowing this kid to get on the field. Just what other assignment did you have to have this guy on an obvious passing down other than go get quarterback, go give me the ball, go give me the ball? Like it is a crime. Yeah, he would definitely be my favorite junior missed, and it's so funny because I have a friend who's an Arkansas fan, and he was just messaging me. It's so funny. He was messaging me earlier in the season, and he was like, man, where do they got Arvell Reese going in the draft? And at the time I was like, oh, they're saying, second round, maybe, late first. And then the next week happened, and then I'm like, well, they saying, definitely going first round for sure. And it just kept going up, and we just kept talking about it, and he's sending me clips. So this man has a fan base in the SEC country already. That just goes to show you. I think that people are starting to respect Ohio football as well. But back to these Buckeyes, man. Gabe Van Sickle, man. Ryan Day spoke on him, saying he earned himself some more reps. I want to see. This is one thing that I talked to you guys about on the post game was, can Gabe Van Sickle go into the Rutgers game and then we go and get explosives in that game as well? Man, I think we might have found out the issue. Also, Philip Daniels graded as one of the and PFF graded as the highest offensive lineman. So I mean, it looks better when someone isn't around him. I'm just saying. And a lot of people are worried or asking about the focus of this team, these guys, and everybody's saying Ohio State don't play anybody. Well, how is Ohio State able to play conservative and still beat up on these teams and blow these teams out and cover the spread and do this and do that? And One thing that Ryan Day just spoke on was the eyes. The eyes do not lie. He said he looks at the TV copy just to see the eyes and the face of the team on the sideline. And he likes what he sees. This team has a goal, and it is get to Indy. Right now, every reporter was trying to ask him about looking ahead to the team up north, and he just saying this team is so focused on getting to Indy that right now Rutgers is in the way. And it reminded me of when my dad talked to me about this math teacher, because I had a math teacher. It made no sense. It was what, 10th grade. Yeah, we had to do the stuff on a calculator, but I also believed in like showing my work and doing my work. And the teacher hated that, but my dad told me, "Hey, you just gotta do this. You just gotta get through him, and you're done. You just gotta get through him, and you're done." And so that's the thing, man. You get through Rutgers, and then on to that team up north. Nothing should stop you from getting your goal. As long as you continue to work, you might not like the work. You might not like how you have to work. But the ultimate goal is to get to Indy. So I like it. I like this team. I like the fire that they have in them right now. I'm very excited about this Rutgers game. Myself and Garrison will be diving more into this game as well. But make sure you stay tuned, because we also are going to be talking about this college football playoff rankings that I am not a fan of. It is really sad because these fools basically almost got me having to defend my rivals. Y'all got me needing to defend the team up north in these rankings. Oh, Lord. Yeah, these rankings been crazy. The College Football Playoff Committee has been off the chain. But before that, let's go ahead and take care of some business. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. See what our partner Win Agency has to say about its sponsorship experience with us right here on screen. Let's discuss how you can reach your target market. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com today. Again, that is sponsorships@vocfb.com today. And we got one more housekeeping.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right, we are back. The college football playoff rankings was supposed to be coming on at 7:30 on ESPN, but they still have the Kentucky and Michigan State game coming on. Normally what they'll do is they'll still move forward and put it on a different network, but it looks like they have other games on, so maybe they will just wait, which would be awesome. They normally don't wait. They normally don't wait. We might actually get the college football playoff committee to wait on us. Look at that. Ain't that something? All right. Well, let me tell y'all about last week's ranking that pissed me off, man. And it was the simple fact of the team up north not being anywhere ranked anywhere near Texas, which I thought was crazy. I thought it was beyond insane that they weren't. What last week they had Texas at 10. They put the team up north at 18. Both of those teams were at 10-2. The team up north only losses had came to a ranked USC team and a ranked OU team, while Texas lost to a unranked Florida team, and then they lost to us. Like, it makes no sense. And the SEC bias is all throughout the committee. So I had to call that out. And I will forever be calling it out. We're waiting on the next ones. But as you can see, Texas looked like they didn't even belong on the field with a top 10 team, let alone a top 5 team. And I see everybody want to continue to be like, oh, look at the week 1 score that Ohio State had against Texas. Bro, you do not know football. And that's the worst transitive properties that you could ever use, man. Let's see what everybody's saying in the chat. It should be Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Bama in that order. All right, these boys been waiting for some get back against that team up north. Don't get it twisted. Oh, I agree. I do. And here's the thing. My guy Steven Means, man, from Cleveland.com, I be watching my guy, man. And he was talking about it on his show on the pod and about the question he wanted to ask Ryan Day. And I'm like, oh man, this isn't the week to ask Ryan Day about this question, but I understand where he was going with it. And basically, it was asking Ryan Day if, this team, because they're newer, they're younger, they don't really have as many battle scars from that game. They didn't really start in the game, so they don't really have those battle scars or, I guess like feel like they're the ones that got beat. I mean, these guys feel like, no, that was their team. This is our team. And that's why I have been confident. I've been trying to tell you, Ohio State fans, don't sit here and let these team up north fans catch y'all saying, oh, you was worried. Don't let them, because when them hands and them feet get put on them Wolverines, just let them know that you was confident about it. Because I'm confident. So I'm hella confident in that game, man. I cannot wait. I'm excited. But yeah, I understand where Steven was going with that one for sure. It is 1 minute and 13 seconds, boy. The SEC, boy, they show don't mean more in basketball, boy. Hey, Izzo is putting hands and feet on them boys. They beat them boys by 20. Good Lord. All right, let's go through what everybody been talking about. All right. I'm preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. That's when people was talking about Jeremiah and Cardinal. As long as they can make it back for the team up north game, I'm not concerned. Honestly, if they don't make it back for the team up north game, I'm not concerned. I am not concerned. I think that we can still beat the team up north without them. Like I've been telling you guys, just you got to be out there. And then you got QP out there as well. You got Marlon Graham. Just let the young guys cook. Let the young guys cook. You also got Max Clare as well. And to be honest, it might open up the defense a bit, them not worrying about JJ or trying to cloud a whole field or shut a whole field down might open up the defense a bit. But I'll say this: the only thing about in that game, if we go vertical, I think we're fine. The whole issue in last game was the whole horizontal crap. I don't know if Will Howard was seeing double or what. Let's see. I know they're in the battle with Purdue this season, so about the same score. It's funny when you have a defensive coach. Another 200-yard rushing between Jackson. Make it out healthy. I agree. I do believe that that's the focus in this game. We are going to run the ball, run the pill. And hey, one thing I want to see, let Lincoln run that pill too, man. I definitely want to see some more Lincoln out there. Yeah, Lincoln got that dog in him, bro. My thing is, we read down. The difference in the Jay situation was we saw how they got injured. Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. I don't know. I do remember when JJ came down funny or whatever, he was on the bench and in pain. That was earlier in the season. I wonder if that has creeped up and bothered him. I don't know. But we playing in a slow play. We playing at a slow pace all season just for our most important players' health to be in question in the most critical part of the season. Day one of Heidi, you can't make this. It's like Fort Knox. Penn State as a brand is not good. That's true. Shout out Linda Jackson. We appreciate you. James almost got Justin Fields. That he did. That was okay. So I had a thing about that, about Ryan Day and why, when he was a quarterback's coach, why he didn't initially go after Justin Fields, because he was committed to Penn State. I didn't understand why we didn't go after him. I remember you talking about the Twitch monsters before the season. Man, you was spot on. Hey, here's the funny part. If you was following me from the preseason of the 2024 season, I was talking about this, and I had to just shut up or whatever so many times because I just knew it. I knew about what Arvell could do. I just knew these guys were just built a little different. And then also you could see when they did get those opportunities to get in the game, you could hear the way that they were hitting. The way that they hit someone, you could hear it on the TV screen. And that was just my thing. I was telling someone in one of the Twitter spaces was, everybody was talking about the whole Damon Williams and all of this stuff and the running quarterback and how it was going to get us. And I'm like, bruh, that dude's going to get smacked and then it's going to be over with. He ain't going on. And that's exactly what happened. Couple hits, one from Sonny, another one from Arvell. Dude didn't want to run no more. He wasn't trying to run. Everybody talk about Texas A&M quarterback. Oh, he'll run. Couple hits from Arvell. I doubt that skinny boy want to run anymore either. Underpants, yeah, let him go ahead. He'd be like, yeah, let's not go to the playoffs, man. I need to take a little bit of time off. K McDonald, because I met him in person. Yeah, man, I am actually a K-Mac fan. Been a fan, been trying to tell everybody about K-Mac since before he stepped on campus, man. Caleb for sure, just because he brings that. Yeah, we're going to be missing that. Somebody is going to have to take over that coach on the field. Who is going to be that coach on the field for us next year? Yeah, I feel that one. These boys been waiting for some get back against that team up north. Fans need to chill out about Tatum Smith. Day is playing a long game. Well, so I was wondering the same thing. What if this is load management, right? But here's the thing. A lot of people remember just they line up to us. Like the whole JSN thing is what really kind of like sparked and took the whole thing of the whole Lion Day. Like it literally sparked the whole Lion Day stuff. Literally took it to a whole nother level when he did that. So I can't, I ain't got no dog in that one. Texas getting credit for scheduling Ohio State, but the team up north isn't getting credit for scheduling Oklahoma. It's crazy, right? Also, it's like, what was it? Oregon didn't get any credit because they struggled against Penn State. Meanwhile, Texas A&M gets credit because they struggled against South Carolina. Bro, like I don't understand it. It does not make sense. Only thing that makes sense is the SEC bias, bro. I mean, you talking about literally like South Carolina, Penn State. I mean, they both not good teams. One struggles, other struggles, not looked at in the same realm. It's crazy, man. Just saw a New York Times article that said Georgia could be number one. Let them. Here's the thing. I would love go. You want to make this team more chaotic? You want to make this team more psycho? You want to bring the dogs out? You want to piss this team off? You rank Georgia number one. Matter of fact, rank Indiana number one. Rank everybody ahead of Ohio State. Matter of fact, put us down to 5. I love it. We ain't playing nobody. I'm feeding into it. For sure. I gotta go with the blood pressure medicine. Look, I will outrun all y'all. None of y'all can even see me on the football field. Why don't y'all pull up? Come play some flag football. Yeah, pull up. See how that blood pressure. Bet you won't be talking about no blood pressure in when I'm running you off that field. Yeah. Come on, pull up. Jermaine has to be the coach on the field. I agree, but my thing is it's hard for the cornerback, right? You got the whole field. It needs to be somebody in that middle. You're talking about you losing your 2 top linebackers, so it's probably gonna have to be Peyton Pierce. I mean, we've heard about him. We heard about he's a sure tackler. And he should be with these reps and another all season of development. He should be ready to take on that role. I mean, and you hear how he feels about Matt Patricia and all of that. You should see. So right now they're talking about the rankings, but ain't nobody saying that about the rankings. They ain't revealing the rankings. Reveal these rankings and stop playing with me. All right, what else we got? So now I agree this is load management. Let them take the week and get it. Here's the thing. I'll say this, Garrison, because what if it's load management? And what if what sparked this? What if what sparked this was, man, we just put Carnell in the slot, watched him do it. He never repped at this position. And now, all the other freaky things that you could do with Carnell. You're trying not to go out there and just keep doing the same plays over and over. Okay, if we're going to do the same plays over and over, at least let it be with some other guys so that they can get the reps, right? The younger guys. Okay, the rankings just dropped. Arizona State at 25, Tulane at 24, Houston at 23, Mizzou at 22, Illinois at 21. All of these teams were not ranked beforehand. So they put basically saying Illinois and Mizzou are comparable. Now you got at 20 Tennessee, 19 Virginia, the team up north at 18, Texas ahead of them at 17, and then Georgia Tech at 16. How is the team up north at 18? And Texas is ahead of them at 7-3? And you're trying to tell me there's no way you can't tell me that this ain't buying. The SEC about to get their way. They're about to get 5 SEC teams in, bro. They're giving Texas a chance to say, hey, win out, you're in. Though they will let them climb back up. They win out. I guarantee it. This is insane. I cannot believe this is happening. All right, USC coming in at 15. They're only up 2 spots. I think that's BS. 8-2, and they're only at 15 in the Big Ten. They beat the number 18 team, and you're saying they're only 3 spots better. You put Vanderbilt, who's 8-2, ahead of USC. BS. USC would beat Vanderbilt on a neutral field. And then you put Miami at 13. I could see them being ahead of USC, but actually, you know what? I got to look at this. Who has USC lost to? USC, I believe, what they lost to, was it Illinois they lost to? Illinois and who else? And Notre Dame. This is crazy. Utah 8-2 is up at 12. This is crazy. BYU at 11 and 9-1. All right, let's see who will be ahead of BYU. I don't understand this. I feel like they're ranking these teams now, like especially Big Ten teams. They're ranking them based off of where they'll be later instead of where they are now. And I don't like that. Bama has dropped down 6 spots to number 10 at 8-2. So right now, Bama is still into the college football playoffs at 8-2. They cannot have another loss though. But that's something they ain't gotta worry about, man. They got Cupcake Week before they go into rivalry week. So this is SEC Cupcake Week. Nothing to watch in the SEC at all. Notre Dame at 9, 8-2. So Notre Dame right now still in the playoffs, as long as they don't have no L. Let's see. I was supposed to have an Amazon order that was supposed to be here already. Oh no, 7 stop. Oklahoma coming in at 8. They have now moved up 3 spots. This is about to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Oregon moves up one spot to number 7. Oregon and USC play each other, man, and that's the thing. Like, if USC wins, they should be in. Oregon should also still be in, but for some reason, because of how far down they got USC, they're going to find a reason to keep Oregon out if Oregon wants to lose. I don't like that. Ole Miss up one spot at number 6. And the way they're trying to say, Texas was to go ahead and win out or whatever, they should be in. I mean, I could say the same thing about USC. If USC wins out, if they just lose, if they lose to Oregon, why shouldn't they be in with 3 losses as a Big Ten team? Why not? Appreciate you. Texas Tech at number 5, moving up one spot. 5 at 10-1. Then you got Georgia at 4, moving up one spot at 9-1. All right. So how do they mix up your 3? Texas A&M got to be at number 3, which I thought that they would have put Texas A&M maybe at 4, but they didn't because they're undefeated. So your undefeated team still 1, 2, 3. Ohio State still at number 1, Indiana at number 2, and Texas A&M at number 3 right now. If the bracket was set, Oklahoma and Notre Dame would face off to go against Ohio State. I take either one of them. That's easy work to me. Indiana will have to take on the winner of Alabama and Oregon. That would be a good game. Texas A&M will have to take on the winner of Miami and Ole Miss. That'd be a good game. And Georgia will have the winner of Tulane, Texas Tech. Because Tulane is your highest ranked team. Because Memphis had lost. You had USF lost. All these teams lost. So there's definitely bias in this. Your first teams out is BYU and Utah right now. What they're telling you is only how many ACC teams? I'm only seeing right now there's only one ACC team in there, and that's Miami. Big 12, you got Texas Tech. So the ACC and the Big 12 just I'm telling you, in the next 5 years, we'll be wondering, will there be a conference will the ACC even exist anymore? Because, I mean, a lot of people want to get out. We will talk to you guys tomorrow about what this commissioner said, because I got to hear this. I got to hear, you do know the previous commissioner stepped down. They put in the SEC commissioner in. So this is going to be great, guys. Again, man, make sure you stay tuned to all things Voice of College Football. If Ohio State is not your team and you check this out, we appreciate you. And maybe you can find your team stream right here on our network. Again, thank you. Hit that like button, hit the retweet button. And with that, we're out of here.